Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today, in honor of me reaching 500 subscribers on YouTube, this is my 500 subscriber special where I will be ranking the Thai BLs that came out in 2024 on a tier list. Now, there might be some things missing. I tried to make this as comprehensive as possible. And by the way, if you want to make your own tier list, I've made it available for you to do that down below, okay? And now you might notice there's some things on here that started airing in 2023, but I kept them on here because they finished airing in 2024. You'll also notice there are some currently airing series as well. I wanted to give them, at least my initial thoughts on them. And if I do this again next year, if people are interested, I'll include them as well. Does that make sense? Okay. So we have things that stopped airing in 2024. We have things that started airing in 2024. And again, if I missed something, I'm so sorry. I searched for a comprehensive list, but all the blogs and stuff I found, there was always something missing. So I ran this by a few friends. I think it's pretty comprehensive. So yeah, as a celebration of reaching 500 subscribers, I thought this could be fun, especially because the year is about to end, okay? And I put on one of my new favorite outfits. It's a cute cottagecore dress I had. So I'm dressing up for y'all because this is a special day. There are over 500 of you and I'm so grateful. So let's get into it and feel free to tell me what you would have ranked below. Okay. And we are all entitled to our own opinions. So yeah, let's remember to be kind. I will try to be kind in my ranking if you promise to be kind, interpreting my rankings and interpreting others. All right. So let's just jump into it. Okay, so this is a tier list maker. The website, you might have heard of it, maybe not, but I made one and I uploaded all of the images myself. So I went through and had to find them. And I have a few. We have the best, this is the ultimate top tier, okay? So that's what I think was the best. So good I would rewatch it. So something I really liked, and I liked it enough that I would rewatch it because there's some things that I just wouldn't rewatch. Got it? Okay. Then we have good, but I'm waiting for you to be great, which is a Dance Mom's quote. I think it's you were good, but I'm waiting for you to be great. So this is something that I liked, but could have used improvements. And I'll probably share them as we continue, if that makes sense. Then we have meh. So this is kind of the mid tier, middle of the road. I'm not too pissed about it, you know what I mean? But it's still, you know how it is. Yeah, so that is what I'm thinking with meh. Then we have no thank you. Let me see. I'm trying to make our screen bigger. Okay. So then I have no thank you, which is something that it's not something that I hated, but it just wasn't for me maybe, or other thoughts I might have. And then I have a category for did not finish or didn't watch. Now some of the did not finish I might not put in this category. DNF stands for did not finish. It's something we use a lot in the book talk community. Not that I'm a part of the book talk community, but I love reading. So I'm very familiar with this term. So yeah, DNF or didn't watch. And then the lowest tier, which is wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And I don't honestly know if any of them will end up on this list. So we'll see. We'll just see what happens. So yeah. And hey, thanks for being here. Again, I am so happy that you have chosen to subscribe to my channel and to listen to me yap about these interests of mine. I'm so happy you're here. And so feel free to give this video a like, comment down below, maybe even subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. So I think it's very random, this order. So let's just go in the order of which they are on the screen. So up first is Wandee Goodday. So Wandee Goodday is a GMM series. I might give a little summary for all of them, but it's about a doctor and a boxer and how friends with benefits, fake dating became something more. Wow, that was a really quick explanation. This series I really did like. I liked it a lot. I thought it was funny. And I enjoy a premise. It felt like a very different premise to me. because it wasn't technically a university story, but don't get me wrong, I like university stories. And it wasn't something that, I don't know, it was different. So, but I have to be careful because I can't put too many things at the ultimate. You know what I mean? But also, Wandee Goodday does have Fluke in it. In fact, it has Thor Fluke, which if you know me, you know I'm like, I ride so hard for that ship. And listen, I'm so mad that we're not getting them again. I mean, I shouldn't speak too soon, but at least from right now, the announcements with GMMTV 25, it doesn't look like we are. I feel like I need to limit how many I'm allowed to put in like the ultimate row. Okay, so there are 41 series here. I did do the math right. Can you believe that? 41. That is a lot. I think it's probably because I included the ones that were not done airing when 2024 began. So I feel like 40, gosh. Okay, let's say I can only put 5 in the ultimate. I can only do top 5. That's fine. I can change this later verbally. For now, Wandee Goodday is going in the top. I have to keep thinking. Obviously, something might get kicked. But as of right now, it's either going to be in the ultimate tier or so good I would rewatch it. And I'll be honest, I have rewatched it. Okay, next up is My Stand-In. So this, My Stand-In, if you don't know, is a transmigration story, which Joe, the main character, who was a stunt man, essentially gets de-worded on a set. Not M-worded, but he passes away on a set, and his soul is transmigrated into the body of another person named Joe. And before he passed, he was having this pretty messed up relationship with this guy named Ming. And it turns out that he keeps running into Ming in his new body. And it's kind of about that. And them finding each other again. This one is kind of controversial, I would say. I mean, a lot of people love it, but a lot of people online, like, they love to slander Ming. And, like, yes, Ming is not a good person, but I also don't, like, so I didn't start watching the show until it was already, I think, halfway airing. It's probably halfway. And at first, the only discourse I was seeing was like, Ming sucks. Ming is such a red flag. And he's not even like the worst red flag character I can think of. I think that's what's weird to me about My Stand-In. I mean, he is a red flag, but like, he's no Vegas. Like, yeah, he's not a Vegas. So, honestly, and keeping that out of my head, because I was like, oh, this is going to be insane. It wasn't actually that insane. It was I think it was so good that I would rewatch it. I would. I liked it. And you know, for me, and y'all are going to come for me because if you know anything about me, you know I love the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, which is a transmigration story as well. I'm not the biggest fan of transmigration narratives, and so getting me to rewatch one, that is a big thing. So the fact that I would watch My Stand-In again is a compliment. Okay, so next is going to be quick. I have not seen OMG Vampire, so we're putting it under didn't watch, because I also have no opinions about it. I don't know why I didn't watch it. If you think I should watch it, let me know why down below. Okay. Ooh, this is hard. Next, we have Century of Love, which, okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. This is one of my favorite series of the year. It automatically, we're going to the ultimate top. Now, something we'll keep in mind is this is, in each category is not like 1, 2, 3. They're not in order. It's just they're all in the top tier. So Century of Love it is kind of reincarnation, maybe soulmates, maybe Red String of Fate, I don't know. So long story short, the main character lost the love of his life to gun violence back a long time ago, a century ago. And he was saved with this mythical stone, and essentially he has 100 years to find the reincarnation of the love of his life, and they can perform this ceremony together, and he will live out a normal lifespan after that, together with the love of his life. And if he doesn't, he will die a very, very painful death on the 100th anniversary of the event of ingesting the stone for the first time. So this old guy, San, is just like minding his own business with it, looking for the love of his life, and essentially they figures out, oh, wait, why are all of the signs pointing to the love of your life being this guy? And he's like, the love of my life, the reincarnated woman that I'm supposed to love with, is a dude? And so it's kind of about them kind of having this, it's a very interesting dynamic. I don't want to say too much without like giving away most of the plot, without super spoilers here. But I really love this series, and I kind of like the implication. I don't know. Some people have come away saying, oh, Off-Road's character is definitely the reincarnated, or some people feel the opposite. So I really like that part of it is left up to the viewer's decision. But also, I will say, here, I really love that San, in the end, chooses love. He chooses love. So I guess that is a spoiler. It's a bit of, not a huge spoiler, but, well, it kind of is. So I apologize. But yes, I really like that they develop their relationship, and essentially he chooses love over the possibility of this woman who wears the same face as the person he loved before. And so I think that is magical, and maybe I'm just biased because I love them as well. And by the way, I'm going to their fan meeting in New York City in March. I'm so excited. I don't get to meet them because I tried to get VVIP tickets, but I didn't get it. But I got the lowest level of VIP. So I do get a photo. Anyways, maybe I'll wear this. Although New York in March is kind of cold. But anyways. Okay, next is going to be so hard too. Okay, so I'm actually going to say I can put 6 in the ultimate row because this is not technically a series. So you might be thinking, Brindley, what the heck? Is that just a screenshot? Look, yes, it is. So this is a screenshot from Peaceful Property episode 7, which Peaceful Property is not a BL. Now, we can talk about Peaceful Property some other time if you're interested. But Peaceful Property episode 7, the plot of it does focus on a relationship, a very tragic relationship between a character named Poom and a character named Visha. And honestly, if I could give any TV or movie an award, I would give Peaceful Property episode 7 an award. Because it was that good. So, essentially, the two characters, they meet when they're at a traditional dancing school. I think it's over summer break, something like that, and they fall in love, and because of homophobia and really sad circumstances, one of the characters ends up self-ending. It's really sad, but part of what's magical about Peaceful Property episode 7 is the plot of Peaceful Property is that Tay and Nu's characters are going around essentially helping free spirits to move on to the afterlife from being trapped in our world. And oftentimes it's resolving some sort of trauma or conflict that they had with the living. And so what I really think is magical about Peaceful Property episode 7 is Poom, Forrest's character in the future, comes to, I think, home. And it's like, hey, I need your help. And instead of wanting the place to be exorcised, he just wants to get in contact with Visha. I'm sorry. It is just beautiful. I'm tearing up thinking about it. The dignity, like, oh God, and apologize. And so it is a beautiful story. If you were not watching Peaceful Property at all, I highly recommend you just watch episode 7. Although I do think it's a good show. But honestly, their story is magical. And I think about them all the time. There's this my favorite line in the entire episode is oh my gosh. It's like, I don't want to misquote it. Watch the episode. Watch Peaceful Property, or specifically Peaceful Property episode 7. I would give this all the awards. Okay. Next, we have Battle of the Writers. Now we're switching gears. Oh boy. Okay, so Battle of the Writers stars a bunch of people from Wandee and then people who are not from Wandee as well. The main characters are played by Tudor and Yim, who you might know from Cutie Pie. And essentially, the inciting incident is that Yim's character is accused of plagiarizing on his web novel, Tudor's character's web novel. And I won't tell you what actually is it, because he didn't plagiarize. You'll have to watch the series to find out the truth. But it's about their relationship, their shared backstory, and then some people in their friend group also getting with other people as well. So there is an ensemble aspect, but I would say the main characters are Tudor and Yims. And you might not know this, I am a writer. I love writing. That is this is my creative outlet, but so is writing. But yeah, so I'm a writer, so I really was excited. I don't know. I love watching stories about writers unless they're unrealistic. But this one, I was just having too much fun with it for it to be unrealistic. But the writing, it's so ironic, in a story about writers was a little left to be desired. So it is going in good, but I'm waiting for you to be great. Okay, listen. This is also because I'm biased towards Tudor and Yim. Okay? If I wasn't attached to them, by the way, this is my list. I can be as biased as I want. I might put it in. No. Good, I'm waiting for you to be great. I could have fixed it. Let me take a crack at that script. Let me take a crack. Okay, next up is Only Boo. Okay, how do I explain this? So this is a GMM TV show with C and Keen, who I believe in 2025 have 2 upcoming series together. And essentially Keen's character is forced to move to the small town where he starts hitting on, wait, did I say Keen's character? That's who I meant to say. Yeah, and he starts hitting on C's character, who works with food. And so it's kind of about their relationship and also Keen's journey to becoming an idol and how that also conflicts with his relationship with Keen's character. It is really good. My queen is in it, Milk. I will admit that because Milk and Book were in it is why I picked it up. And I came away from it loving C and Keen. And of course, still loving Book and Milk. And I will say, in the last episode, I lost my mind because there was a cameo from Force. And so, because it had not only one episode 11 curse, but 2. And I think it was episode 7 and episode 11. I actually don't remember. Maybe it was episode 11 and episode 12. Nevertheless, and there was a big time skip. And listen, something y'all should learn about me. We've never talked about The Last Twilight on this channel. We're about to, I guess. I think it's on this list. Time skips need to be used very carefully. Okay? And so that is why it's under good. I'm waiting for you to be great. Okay, so The Hidden Moon. I don't even want to try to explain the plot because I'm not even quite sure. I'm putting it at meh. I don't know. It was pitched to me as it's based on a book by the same person who wrote I Feel You Linger in the Air. And so that's why I watched it. I'm not actually the biggest fan of it, but meh. Or maybe it should just be under no thank you. No thank you. Okay, so next up is Cherry Magic Thailand, which is also, which is the Thai version of Cherry Magic. If you know it, well, I'll summarize the plot real quick if you don't know what that is. Long story short, in the world of Cherry Magic, when someone turns 30 and they are still a virgin, they can read people's thoughts if they're touching them. So that is the premise. And New's character finds out by accidentally touching Tay's character the day he turns 30 that Tay's character has had this unrequited crush on him for a long, long time. And this is very confusing for New's character because New's character feels like a loser he feels like a loser and unlovable, and Tay's character is like the very popular one in the office. And, you know, I love this. I love that we're showing that 30-somethings can find love too. I feel like with so many dramas, people just stop aging at the age of, like, what, 19, 24? Like, you barely, like, see characters that are falling in love at this age. And so I'm kind of happy that we have that. Thinking about how I want to rate this one, there's some things that, like, I don't know. I liked it, don't get me wrong, and I was so excited to see Tay and New. But I'm going to leave them out of this. And I needed more. Good, I'm waiting for you to be great. Why do I feel like this is going to be a category that I'm going to have a lot in? At the end, I just wanted more, like, development or things to, like, slow down. I feel like the beginning took a while to get going. I don't know. There's just a lot there that, and don't get me wrong, I'm a polka, guys. Don't come for me. I liked this. I feel like if you're going to remake something, I don't know, you got to make it better than the original. Like, we'll talk about another remake soon. I think there's another one on here. Okay, so next is I Saw You in My Dream. Now, I do not remember the characters' names, so bear with me. But essentially the plot of this is that there is the main character grew up next door to his best friend and older brother, whose parents are dead, are D-word. And so the main character has always been annoyed by the older brother of his best friend. Annoyed. But, like, if you watch this, you can immediately clock that the older brother likes him, and he just doesn't realize it yet. Neither of them realize it yet. And long story short, he starts having these dream premonitions about his best friend's older brother. Essentially, and so he essentially puts himself in all of his visions, have to do with the best friend's older brother. And so it's kind of like trying to figure out what's going on with the visions. And as he's trying to figure out what's going on with the visions, he starts to realize that there might be something else going on here. Maybe something romantic. And yes, they fall in love. And I actually really liked this. Something I didn't see a lot of people talking about this series. By the way, if you follow me on Twitter, you know I love JJ. JJ, my king, who is going to be in the next Prince and Love Upon a Time. By the way, if you're watching this, JJ, I love you. Okay? Keep up the good work, king. JJ is in this. Very minor character, but he is in this. And I was watching and I was like, that's JJ! Oh my god! Anyways, but something else I want to say about I Saw You in My Dream. In the United States, or in my personal life here in the United States, I have not had a lot of good experiences as a queer person with the church. It has been hard. We don't need to get into my backstory, but just know that. So I found this series magical, and that the church is a positive space for them, a place where they developed their relationship and maybe even fell in love in a place where that they see as a safe space. And the elders in their life, who clearly care a lot about church, they unequivocally support them. And I thought that was beautiful. I love to see that kind of representation, because there are affirming Christian communities. There are. And so I thought it was really cool to see one portrayed in this. And I always have wondered, so maybe if someone said, I saw you in my Dream Expert, please let me know. Is it because the web novel had like references to Christianity in it? I don't know. Let me know. Or maybe it was a webtoon. Sorry. I'm not an expert on this show. I just watched it. But I really did enjoy it, and I felt that was magical. I really appreciated that we got to see an affirming Christian community that was a support structure for these boys. So I'm going to say good. It wasn't it wasn't. So what I'm also going to say, it's good. I'm waiting for you to be great. I don't know. I don't think I should rate it higher than Only Boo. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same level of enjoyment that I had with the others on this level. But I'm not sure how I would have improved it, if that makes sense. Okay, so next up, oh, I can't talk, is Ever You, Ever Me. Now, this is going to be controversial. I'm putting it in meh. So I did watch this, and at first I was like super invested because I thought it was like some like reincarnated soulmates type of thing. But when I was fine with what it was actually about. So what it actually is about is that these two actors are in a BL ship, and the show follows them kind of throughout the different series / movies that they're in together as a BL ship. And then finally at the end, it's revealed in more detail how their IRL relationship is sort of falling apart because they were dating. Now they're experiencing conflict, and you'll have to watch the show to find out if they end up together or not. Now, I did enjoy this, but I felt that the way they kind of set up this series with the way episodes were formatted, and kind of when the reveal, or when you finally understood what was happening, I felt like it was way too late. And I would have liked to see their real life development sooner, if that makes sense. Their real life development, meaning the two actual main characters, the actors. So there are actors who are playing actors who are playing actors. But I mean, the characters who are actors who are playing in these other roles. That's what I would have liked to see sooner. And also, I think there were only like 8 episodes. And you're going to hear me say this about another series that I know is coming. I think 8 episodes is too short. I think it's too short. And so I think they just needed to fix some things around. Now, the two main characters, the two main guys who played the main characters, I thought they were really talented. I think the writing is what really ruined this series for me. So I'm putting it on meh. Caged Again. So if something's currently airing, I'll say that. So Caged Again is still currently airing. I think we've had 5 episodes now. Personally, I'm really enjoying this show. When I first saw the preview, best believe I messaged my friend and I was like, this premise is insane. Because what do you mean it's about a penguin who got turned into a boy, who's falling in love with a boy who was a panther, who got turned into a boy? Okay. But I'm really excited to see where this goes. I'm liking it a lot. It's super wholesome and sweet, and the guys they casted are doing such a fabulous job capturing the essence of these animals. And there's some interesting things going on that I'm not quite sure about yet. Like, for example, so it's called Caged Again, and so the premise is that the main character, Junior, who is I think a Humboldt penguin, suddenly gets turned into a human, finds himself at this school and trying to figure out, how to be a human, where the heck is his brother, and maybe he wants to go to the North Pole, which is so cute, okay? And there are other people at this school who were animals who were turned into humans, and I think there are regular humans as well. But there's something interesting going on here because the school very much feels like a second cage. Because, for example, their pajamas, they look like prisoner uniforms. Their gym outfits literally like kind of look like orange jumpsuits. So yeah, I have lots of questions. Also, Portion Arm, they are in it. They were in episode 5 and they're going to be in episode 6 and I'm hoping they'll stick around. I think maybe we've got a found family situation going on here. I don't know. I'm going to put it under so good I would rewatch it. Yeah, because I think I'm going to want to rewatch it to like make sure I see all the signs of what we know. Because like at the end I'll be like, oh yeah, I totally saw that coming. You know what I mean? So I'm putting it there. That'll be controversial because I'm sure some people think it's insane that I'm literally watching a BL about a panther and a penguin fall in love. Anyways. Oh gosh. Okay, so the Trainee is next. Let me start. How do I want to start this? Let me first start off by saying I am an Afghan fan, okay? When I first started watching GMM series, which was when Bad Buddy was airing, I know. I immediately, quickly after, found out about Afghan, and I was very much invested. And I have watched all of their series, including Puppy, whatever it's called. Puppy Honey. I did not really like it, but I watched it for them. Okay? Listen, I will watch something for Afghan. And if I'm loyal to an actor or ship, I will watch something even if I think I'm not going to like it because of them. You know what I mean? I was really excited for the Trainee because Cooking Crush, which I think we're going to talk about, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like the best Afghan series ever, if that makes sense. I don't know. And so I was like, oh my God. And like, it's kind of like giving like enemies to lovers, although it really wasn't. It was more like bully, like, because Jane Off's character, like in the trailer, was giving like abrasive. And I was just so excited for that dynamic. And like, I was just excited. I'm actually planning, I've been working on the script for this for a bit, a video about the Trainee in more depth, so I'll try not to go into that too much here. But I wanted to give the preface that I am an Afghan fan before I say what I'm about to say. I do not know if the Trainee should even be on this list, because to me, and like I said, I'm working on a video essay about this, Afghan felt like a side couple in their own series. And because of that, I'll say it, they used a lesbian character as a plot device to get a straight couple back together. I am going to put it, oh no, people are going to come for me. I'm going to put it under no thank you. It's not a bad show. It is just not what it was advertised to me to be. So, because of this, it's going in no thank you. Or no, thank you. Sorry to the Trainee and the Trainee stans. Stay tuned for my eventual video on the Trainee discussing what categorizes or what categories even the Trainee should be applied to. Is it a BL? Anyways, and I'll also talk about how mad I am about the whole using a lesbian as a plot device to get the straight couple back together. There's a little preview. Stay tuned for that sometime, I don't know when. The script is taking a long time. Okay. So next up is My Love Mix-Up. Okay, here's another GMM series that was a adaptation of a Japanese property. And I actually was not familiar with My Love Mix-Up before this. So, of course, I've since remedied that. I don't know how I missed it. Maybe because I went through a phase where I was like, I don't know if I really want to read a lot of high school stuff. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Nevertheless, it's Gemini in fourth. And because, if we were ranking OSTs, this would be a very different conversation. But I felt like the writing really dropped the ball. I liked the cast, but meh. Sorry. Gemini 4 stans, I'm one of you. Don't come for me. Ticket to Heaven, I'm so excited. But My Love Mix-Up, like the writing, I don't know, it just dropped the ball. It dropped the ball. And maybe the direction a little bit. Like, I think the direction in the writing, I'm just not, it's meh for me. Okay, what's next? Lovesick 2024. If y'all follow me on Twitter, y'all know how much I'm loving Lovesick 2024. Oh my gosh. Okay, so, how does one explain the plot of Lovesick 2024? Well, if you've watched Lovesick, you're aware of the plot. So long story short, the Lovesick is it starts as a fake dating story, but it's more about discovering yourself, figuring out how to stand up for yourself, what you actually want, found family, friendship. It is so good. I love it. And the cast, okay, first of all, from my understanding, they're real high schoolers, and I'm like blown away. I'm like, y'all are so talented. And so I'm loving Lovesick 2024. OST is also amazing. I think it's a truly magical series. And like some people are like, oh, we hate high school BLs. And I'm like, no, we still need them because of course there will always be queer kids in high school. Like, just because the people who are having this discourse are not queer kids in high school, by the discourse I mean about being tired of high school BLs or high school GLs, which I want more high school GLs. That's so off topic, but nevertheless, I love Lovesick 2024. So it's going in the ultimate top. I mean, it is still currently airing, so I don't know how comfortable I feel putting it up there. Because like also it could get weak at the end. So maybe I'll put it in So Good I would rewatch it. Maybe next year I'll put it in probably will stop ending before the end of the year. I'm actually not sure. So we're going to put it in So Good I would rewatch it. If you haven't considered watching Lovesick 2024, go check it out. The kids are so talented. I'm trying to remember I can't remember his real name. Is his real name Toto? So the kid who plays Mick, he is a standout to me. He is like so talented. I don't know if y'all they also did a performance on like the T-pop stage thing. I think they're fabulous and talented. And Almond and Progress, who are the two actors who play the main characters, are also fabulous. I will say, okay, wait, can we just watch it? If you haven't, just give it a shot. Tell me if you like it. If you liked My School President, you should check out Lovesick 2024. It's very much My School President vibes. Okay, and I'm sure My School President was influenced by the original Lovesick, but that is not what this video is about. Okay, next up is Kidnap. Now, if you follow me on TikTok, y'all already know how I feel about this series. Kind of. Because let me just get this out of the way first. I am a stan of Ohm and Lang, okay? I don't know what it is. And maybe this is also why I love Forcebook. Maybe. Because maybe it's the shared backstory for me. You know what I mean? Because Ohm and Lang knew each other in the past. They were not connected, and then they were connected again to star in this drama. Well, they were connected again by GMMTV. And I'm kind of obsessed with that. I think their chemistry is really good. I also just really enjoy Lang. So I don't know. I'm so sad. And like, y'all are probably thinking, didn't Brinley say like 10 minutes ago that Bad Buddy was Brinley's first GMMTV tie BL? And I was like, yes. Yes, it was. And I will still stand by the fact that I am an Lang stan. I really like them. And I'm excited to see them in Only Friends Season 2. Woohoo. Because we know these two know how to bring the heat. Now, let me explain my problem with Kidnap. Has nothing to do with Lang. If we were ranking ships, this would probably be up here. Okay? We are not ranking by ship. So I'm trying to consider, because of Battle of the Writers, what I'm about to say about Kidnap. Let me say what I'm about to say about Kidnap, and we'll see if I know what I mean. If I can figure out if I'm agreeing at the end. So, Kidnap started out really strong. And this is a problem I've noticed a lot of GMMTV series. They have a really strong first few episodes. So it's like going like this. In the story arc, like it's going really great. And I could feel like it'll end up really great too. But GMMTV shows, for some reason, will have this crazy drop-off where it just gets bad. Like, the writing gets weak. For example, you know what? That's why we're putting it up here. Only Boo. The time skip. Kidnap. The last 3 or 4 episodes. What was that? Could we not have had the writer... I feel like the writer at the end was like phoning it in. Like, was rent due or something? Such a strong start. But the ending was just so poorly written. And like, I'm happy that I'm totally fine that Kidnap, taking the word kidnap out of it, okay? I'm perfectly fine that Kidnap was technically about this guy who's providing for his little brother and now his hot stay-at-home husband. Like, I'm fine with that being the plot. Like, in fact, I found that, like, the tone of, oh, I'm kidnapping this guy, but now he's also my stay-at-home husband and I'm still providing for my little brother. Like, I found that to be quite endearing, and camp. I loved it. I loved that. But the last few episodes, the plot just got really wonky. Okay? So yeah, that's why it's good, but I'm waiting for you to be great. Bad guy, my boss. Okay. How do I even start? How do I even explain? Long story short, there is a boss, and he emotionally terrorizes his subordinate, who is a secretary, by making him schedule all of his hookups. Despite the fact I think he was 100% well aware his secretary has feelings for him, and he also has feelings for his secretary, and he thought, this is such a great way to seduce this guy by making him schedule all my hookups. Okay, so let me also say I'm not slandering any of the actors involved, because I enjoyed the performance. I just don't think it's a good show. So, but was it worse than the Trainee? Different kinds of bad here. So I'm going to put it, on, no, I don't want to, fine, I'll slander it. I'm not slandering the actors. Listen, James, if you're watching this, hit me up. I'd love to interview you. I'm not slandering the actors. I love watching what they're doing on social media. I think they're very funny. James's social media presence really reminds me of Pavel's, who we're going to talk about on this list, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. But the writing, it was just so bad. So bad. Excuse me. So, ThamePo is not airing yet because I'm filming this before Friday when it comes out, but I'm gonna put it on the top tier for now. Watch me look like a clown. I'm gonna look like it's gonna be good. But as a Lycan stan, okay, automatically, it's gonna go up on the ultimate tier for now. I was hesitant to even include it, but it's going to be airing in 2024, as in 3 days from now. So let's just put it ultimate top tier. If you have an issue with that, I'm so sorry. Okay, so next up, wait, how many do I have? 1, 2. Oh, okay. I've actually been doing better than I thought. Maybe I'll keep it at 5 because I'm not counting ThamePo, which does sound like tempo. Oh my God. Tempo. I was watching the special and they said that. It's supposed to sound like tempo. Anyways, so Jack and Joker is going straight to the top. We don't even need to be having a conversation. It is going straight to the ultimate top tier. Skyrocketed up there. So, oh my gosh. Okay, so Jack and Joker, which I wish it wasn't over. Oh, we're getting a special episode in February, or I think it's a special episode. We're getting something in February. I'm so happy. So the premise of Jack and Joker is that Joker is this amazing thief. If he was a D&D character, his class would definitely be a rogue bard multi-class. And Joker meets this guy named Jack who when he's trying to do a heist, and he accidentally screws up Jack's life, and so Jack takes responsibility, gets sent to jail, and when he gets released, while he's been in jail, he's been trying to think of the ways to make it up to Jack, because they kind of had this instant connection where they both treated each other as equals and saw each other as humans when the people around them who were not treating them that way. Okay, and Jack wants nothing to do with Joker. And so they're experiencing this sort of emotional conflict. And the other thing is when Joker comes back, Jack is now an enforcer for the boss. Cleaning up debts, threatening people. Although he's actually secretly not really, he's helping the people despite the fact he looks like he's doing wrong. And it's kind of about how Joker as like trying to make it up to Jack, and Jack is just not interested, and they fall in love. This has to be one of the most interesting series I've watched in years. It deals with themes like capitalism, issues in the healthcare system, the class differences, poverty. Oh my gosh, it is just, you wouldn't think it handles the issues with such nuance and grace, except in the last episode. Because I'm still processing how I feel about the last episode, because the 4 horsemen, I don't want to spoil it. If y'all are interested in hearing me talk about Jack and Joker, let me know down below and I might make a separate video. But the way this explores capitalism and like what it does, and class differences, and the way, it's just so good. It's so good. And of course, found family, what it means to love someone and accept them for who they are. I think they did. Bravo. If I could give another award out, Jack and Joker are getting that award. And also, from my understanding, Yin and War, essentially, from my understanding, produced this with, I think, like their own savings. Maybe not completely, but I think a lot of the money was just from Yin and War themselves. And let me just tell you, it does feel like it's one of the highest like quality productions, honestly, like for real. But it also just does feel like a project out of love. Now, I will say, when the special episode comes around, because there was a couple I was rooting for, and we didn't get confirmation about them in the last episode, despite them teasing and implying that these two were having a thing for the entire time. I'm gonna need the special episode to give us confirmation on those two. But it's still on the ultimate tier because I can overlook that. Although if the Jack and Joker team are watching, I cannot overlook that. Please change it. But yes, it is the please, in the special episode, have them get together. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. You know. Anyways, they're in the ultimate top tier. So I actually haven't watched this, so DNF didn't watch. Okay, moving on. 4 Minutes, which is Beyond Cloud's latest series. So this series stars Jess and Bible. Let me just say, I'm coming out as a Jess and Bible stan. I'm sure y'all already knew that. You probably guessed. Because I'm sure all of you quickly figured out that I do not, like, ship dead ships. And by that I mean, well, anyways. Let me just say I really liked this series. But there's something keeping it from the ultimate top tier. And that is that there were only 8 episodes. I think there should have been 10. And you're like, Brinley, I thought salmon, you just love salmon series. I thought you did. Why are you slandering 4 Minutes? I'm not. I loved 4 Minutes, okay? And I loved not knowing what the heck was going on. I loved that. I was eating up every theory. I was making theories. But the pacing with only 8 episodes made the last few episodes after it was revealed what was actually going on with the whole 4 minutes until your brain shuts down thing. When that was revealed, it went far too quickly. We needed more time to they needed more time to explore that, in my opinion. It felt way too quick. I think was the reveal episode 6 or episode 7. One of the two. And I was like, ooh, come back. I was like, are you serious? So, that is how I feel about 4 Minutes. So that is why it's not on the ultimate tier, okay? So, despite it being salmon. Now, the Rebound. So, an implicit promise of a story, a book, a movie, a series is kind of like when they set up the tone in the beginning, what you expect from the very beginning, and if there's follow through on the implicit promise. The Rebound in the beginning felt a lot more intense than it ended up being. I didn't end up finishing it. The reason why I started it in the first place was because of Emmy. She was great in it. I really like the two, what are their names? I can't remember right now. The two main guys. I liked it. But I'm putting it in meh. Because it just did not live up to the implicit promise. Ooh, wait. Probably a no. Thank you. I'm only putting it down there because I enjoyed it about the same amount that now that I'm thinking about the Trainee that I enjoyed. Although I did finish the Trainee. And so I can't put it higher than the Trainee. I'm so sorry. Now, during the Trainee, I felt very angry. I did not feel angry during the Rebound. I was just kind of like, I don't know, the intensity shifted so rapidly. And I don't know. Okay, so next up is Spare Me Your Mercy. Funnily enough, I think we have 3 series on here that Salmon wrote or was one of the co-writers. So Spare Me Your Mercy is based on the novel by Salmon, Euthanasia. And of course, the screenplay, I believe Salmon is also involved. And listen, I like Salmon series. I really do. I'm into him, into them. And so this is currently airing though. There have only been, 3 episodes? 3 episodes so far. Obviously, by when I'm filming this. When this comes out, who knows when this video is coming out. I don't know. I want to put it on the ultimate. I'm just loving this so far because I love a series that makes me question what I believe about situations. I love my ethics being challenged. And this series at its core is about there is someone there. I mean, I'm sure you can tell the novel's name is Euthanasia. So one of the ethical questions this series is asking is, and this is the question, is physician-assisted self-ending behavior? Is physician-assisted suicide ethical? And I think, I'm not going to tell you what I think. You should watch the series and figure out what you think for yourself. But let me just say, I am loving this series so far. I love series with morally gray characters and that challenge worldviews and portray real situations. Because let me just say, so something that really is resonating with me with Spare Me Your Mercy is I have watched two grandparents now essentially become shells. They're alive, but they're not. They are alive, but they are nothing like who they were. And I think it's in episode 3, and the Dr. Khan is saying, I think that's his name. He says to the other main character, essentially about this older man who is dying or has died at that point. It's like he used to be a honey hunter climbing the trees, and then when this happened, he was no one. And that just resonates with me so much. My family, we've dealt with Alzheimer's in my family, and I resonated so deeply with that because it's horrible. And he also says he doesn't just treat, he's a palliative care doctor, one of the main characters. He doesn't just treat the patients, he treats the patient's family as well. And that resonated deeply with me because having to watch people that you grew up with and you loved and you care for change, and you just know that if they knew what had happened, they would be heartbroken and they're in so much pain. I don't know. It's just such an important topic, and I'm so glad to be seeing it explored in this, what seems to be so far a very nuanced story. And so I'm excited to see where this goes. Honestly, salmon sometimes fumbles the ending, but I hope not in this case. And I also want to read the book, but I'm not going to read the book till it's done airing because I don't want to spoil myself. So that's how I feel about Spare Me Your Mercy. Okay, so Cooking Crush. I'm putting it on good, but I'm waiting for you to be great. This started airing in 2023, finished airing in 2024. I think have we had any of those others yet? No, I don't think we have. Oh, wait, maybe Cherry, nope. I think this is the first one. So Cooking Crush's premise I really liked. I think the last few episodes, again, this show is experiencing the GMMTV curse of where the last few episodes are just not it. But I liked it. I can't wait to see Afghan in a more serious role again, though, because Not Me is my favorite thing they've ever been in. Also, but I did like Theory of Love. I know that's probably a controversial take, but yeah, that's how I feel about Kitchen Crush. Cooking Crush. Did I say Kitchen Crush? That's embarrassing. It's late. Oh my gosh. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have room for one more. No. What am I gonna do, chat? What am I gonna do? Next is the Heart Killers. I'm breaking my own rule. So, how do I explain this? By the way, you should watch my Heart Killers reaction video series. Go check it out. I have a whole playlist on my YouTube channel of me reacting to the episodes. It is a currently airing series that is essentially Taming of the Shrew meets assassins. Yep. Who work at a burger joint. And that sounds like a pretty silly premise. And yes, the series is silly, and Taming of the Shrew is supposed to be funny, okay? But Taming of the Shrew also Taming of the Shrew, 10 Things I Hate About You, and now The Heart Killers, despite the fact that they are funny, they also encourage their viewers to consider and react and question how they feel about current events in the world. So, for example, 10 Things I Hate About You kind of is a more feminist interpretation of The Taming of the Shrew. Now, you can also do a feminist interpretation of The Taming of the Shrew. For example, I like to interpret the final monologue in The Taming of the Shrew from a feminist lens and not from, if you know what I'm talking about, like, women do not belong in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to choose to interpret this from a feminist perspective. You know what I mean? I mean, if you are a woman and you want to be in the kitchen, that's up to you, babe. You know what I mean? But, like, some people interpret the last monologue as, like, straight up sexism, but some people think it's more, like, joking. So, definitely check out The Taming of the Shrew if you haven't heard of it. But The Heart Killers, I think, is doing something really interesting. Again, we've only had a few episodes, so I think what's hard, and I think someone said something to me, they were like, did you watch this video essay on The Heart Killers yet? And I haven't watched it. I've watched The Heart Killers, obviously. But because I feel like it's really hard to analyze something if you don't have the whole picture. But from what we have so far, I feel like there's an interesting critique of capitalism going on here. Oh, I've said that a lot in this video. Y'all are going to start to guess things about my politics. Anyways, I think there's a very interesting thing going on here. And also, maybe even a commentary on police. And again, I don't want to say anything else until I've watched the entire series, and I will critically analyze it then. Of course, I'm critically analyzing it as we're going along. But yeah, you might have heard some things about this that, like, it's super, like, it has a lot of spice in it. You know, book talk term, but you know what spice is. And it does have that. But I feel like, you know, give the series a shot. Unless that is a total, like, no-no for you, of course. It's also just a lot of fun. Despite its very serious subject matter, it is funny. And it's camp, so keep that in mind. It is very campy. Give it a shot. See how you like it. It is it's probably my favorite thing airing right now. Yeah, check it out. I don't know. Hopefully, once it's done airing, I'll probably make a video interpreting it. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing my thoughts as we watch it together, check out my reaction videos. I try to post one for The Heart Killers once a week. So check it out. Okay, so Last Twilight is one of the ones that started airing in 2023, but finished in 2024. So this has won a lot of awards. And here's the thing. The Last Twilight suffers from what I've mentioned before, which is the GMMTV ending curse. I think there was a lot going on in the final 2 episodes that it was kind of like the writers decided to phone it in, which is, I don't know, it's just such a powerful story. And because of what happened and the time skip, oh my God. And it was like, I guess we got to wrap this up. And then they tried to wrap it up so quickly and, like, it kind of fell flat for me. And so I, like, love, and I've rewatched The Last Twilight, but I always stop before this one event happens. And of course, it's won a ton of awards. It has an amazing OST. It's a great show. The ending is why it can't be on the ultimate top for me. Well, not the ending, because I like that the 2 of them reunite. Sorry. That was, like, very light spoilers. Go check it out. Watch it for yourself. Let me know what you think. If you know what I mean with the time skip. And, I don't know, it's just... GMMTV suffers from dropping the momentum. Or, like... Yeah, I'm going to call it the GMMTV ending curse. I don't know, because we have episode 11 curse. I don't know. But yes, and you'll notice I put it in so good I would rewatch it. Like, it is so powerful. It is very moving. So I'm putting it up there. Plus, has my king Mark in it. It has Ohm in it. Ohm TPK. And so many others that I enjoy. Like Namtan and Film. Although Film is like barely in it. Right? She is in it? I'm not crazy. Sorry. It's adjusting my camera. Anyways, so yeah. Go check it out if you haven't watched it. Let me know what you think. Okay. How many am I at now? So ThamePo does not count because it hasn't started yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Y'all are about to think I'm crazy. I'm so sorry to Wandee Goodday. So next we can talk about So I bet you so many people are gonna be pissed at me for this one. So Two Worlds is possibly one of my favorite things that aired this year. Okay, it is. It's on the ultimate top. It is one of my favorite things that aired this year. And so is Wandee Goodday. But I made that stupid rule. Why did I make that rule about 5? Wait, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Because we're not counting Peaceful Property episode 7 in the 5 count. So, Two Worlds is a Max Nat show based on a novel, I think, of the same name. And long story short, something really bad happens to Nat's character, Krem, and he ends up not transmigrating, but I guess it would be. No, because he's in his own body. He ends up like slipping into a parallel universe, and he's trying to figure out how to save someone who he cares about, who is alive in this parallel universe that is not alive in his universe back home. Figure out also how to get back home. And when he like washes up at this pool, the person who finds them is Max's character Ty, who Krem actually knows from his old world, but they have an antagonistic relationship from the original world. But the Ty in the new world is very different. And he seems to know Krem. So, sorry, I'm gonna get emotional. Let me just say like blah, 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 red string of fate, blah, 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 soulmates, maybe? I don't know. There's something about Two Worlds that I love. And maybe it's like the implication that the two of them will find each other in every universe. I think that's beautiful. And I also think, let me also just say this. I really like Max, so take this with a grain of salt. But Max's performance in this is literally heartbreaking. Because when you know when you find out, like I knew immediately, I actually think they spoil it on my drama list if you read the summary. So if you're going to watch this and you don't want to be spoiled, don't read the summary on my drama list. Yeah, I think they spoil it, but I'm not going to. Max, once you find out what's going on, Max's ability to convey, because like the second I saw the expression on Alternative Worlds Ty's face, I was like, something is going on here. What is going on here? Oh my God. Max's face, he somehow captures the look of like, of course, his character is a very like stern individual, which is funny. Max gets typecast as that a lot, doesn't he? I mean, he always gets cast as the hot character too, and that makes sense because he's the anyways, his like face is very stern, but you can tell like through his micro expressions that there's like deep sadness. And I'm like, give this man an Oscar. I can tell there's deep sadness in your eyes, and I can feel the pining and feel the longing. And listen, if you've learned anything about me from watching my channels. I love me some angst and pining, okay? Yes, I like to have a silly, goofy time, but like angst and pining, that is like for me. And Nat also does a really fabulous job. I mean, I think everyone in the cast does, but Nat is also a standout for me. It was definitely a different role for them. I just am constantly impressed, and I often think about Two Worlds, and it's, I don't know, it's just a beautiful story that I like. But I like serious and dark stuff. Okay. Sorry, I like ranted about Max's acting abilities for like 5 minutes. Okay, so here's another currently airing series called Your Sky. I'm putting it on So Good I would rewatch it because of course, again, it could fall in the ranking based on the ending. But honestly, this is like so much fun to watch. It's very fluffy, very sweet. So long story short, it's the like Demundi's, I think, third generation. Thomas and Kong play the main characters. And so T-Rack is being very aggressively pursued in a very inappropriate way by a senior named O, who's played by Mike, which you might know from A Boss and a Babe. And long story short, he and Fa, who's played by Thomas, essentially are fake. They decide to keep this ruse up that they're going to fake date so that O stops bothering them both. Now, we only have a few episodes of this, but clearly the plot is going to be that they started as fake dating, but turns out they want to be actually dating. And I think actually already Fa has been wanting to date T-Rack from the beginning. But that's just my theory. I'm really liking this series so far. It has Thomas and Kong in it, who I've been excited for since Demundi Friendship the Reality Season 1. It also has it has a pairing from Demundi Friendship the Reality Season 2 that I've been really excited for, which is Ooh and Save. And I'm pretty sure they're one of the side ships. And then this week, this is also why it skyrocketed up here, because Poor was always in this. And apparently, and they kept this a secret, so was TT. TT's character made an appearance. The scream I scrumped. Like, I'm so invested. Anyways, can't wait to see where this goes. I'm excited. I'm really enjoying it. But I love a good university story. It's bringing me joy in my week. Next up is Love Sea. I'm putting it at meh. It started out pretty strong. I liked the plot when they were on the island a lot more. And then originally when they got off the island, the plot was okay too, but it really fell off at the end. And which is funny because I really like these two actors. So I'm sorry to them, but Love Sea was just meh for me. Okay, so next up is The Sign, which was originally 2023, stopped airing in 2024. This is one of my favorite things I've watched. I didn't think I would like it because, I don't know, I watched the first 10 minutes and I went, I think when it first started airing, and I went, this is not for me, because the first 10 minutes is like a police training exercise. And I was like, no, thank you. And then a few months ago, my friend was like, have you watched The Sign? And I was like, I think I tried it and then I didn't like it, so I stopped. And my friend was like, you should try it again. And I was like, okay. Oh, I loved this. Loved it. But if you can't tell, I really do like soulmates, reincarnation stuff. So there is reincarnation, there is soulmates, there is action, there's mythical creatures. Well, is it technically like, did I say shifter? I don't think it's like that, but there are definitely like, there's magical creatures, there's things going on here. I wouldn't say, not necessarily, yeah. So definitely check it out. I liked it a lot. I think out of all the Idol Factory shows, I didn't think they could ever beat Gap the series for me, because like Gap the series holds a very special place in my heart. But The Sign topped Gap the series for me, which is shocking. Okay, next up is This Love Doesn't Have Long Beans, which stars two of the people who are also in Pitbabe, which I think is also on here. It is. I don't think this was for me. I watched it. It was okay. Benz and Garfield were what I was most excited about with this series, to be completely honest. It just, I don't know. I wanted so badly to like it because I liked their ship and Pitbabe. So I'm putting it at no thank you. Okay. Next is Sunset Vibes. Let me first start out this by saying I like Moss Bank. Sue me. I like Moss Bank. In fact, I have defended Moss Bank online. And I think the way people treat Moss and Bank, I think people are weird about them. And we should not be rude to them, and we should not send hate. There's a great video essay. Why haven't I brought this up sooner in this video? Maybe none of the other people. Yeah, I don't think. Maybe I don't think Gun's in that video. It's linked in my YouTube channel under playlist. That's like very important video essays, and I think it's called Femphobia in the BL community. If I can, I'll link it below. It's a great video essay and talks a lot about how certain actors like Kuhart, or otherwise known as Earth, Nunu, Banky, have received so much femphobia and hate. Definitely go check out the video essay. So like, do not slander Moss Bank in my comment section, okay? It will not end well for you. Please respect them as individuals, and I want you to keep in mind that I do like them as actors, and I do like them as people before I say what I'm about to say about Sunset Vibes. Okay, and let me also start out by saying a lot of people hated Big Dragon, but I didn't necessarily hate it, except like the tone shift at the beginning is like crazy wild, but if you can ignore that, like Big Dragon, like it was okay. I would have put Big Dragon in good, but I'm waiting for you to be great. I like Moss Bank. I'm not afraid to say it. So I'm going to put this under no thank you. Oh, just kidding. Okay, it's definitely better than Bad Guy My Boss, so people can feel free to disagree with me on that. Sunset Vibes suffered from the problem in which the writers don't know how to write. So listen, there are multiple like people who I really like in this series. Like, for example, the side GL ship, loved them. The side BL ship, loved them. Okay, I was sad. And I was sad because I really like Moss Bank. The writers just don't know how to write. Like, I don't think they've taken a creative writing class ever. I don't know. The pacing was all over the place. The plot was funky. There was like something going on with... And I was sat every single week because I like Moss Bank, okay? The things I do for the people I have loyalty to. I was like, there's something going on with reincarnation. No, I don't, and here's the bad thing is I watched it and I paid very close attention and I could not tell you what was the thing going on with the Naga here. Now, the sign also has a Naga as well. And I think the sign handled it a lot better. So yeah, I don't know. I needed this series to decide when it wanted to be. Also, I was a little shocked. This has nothing to do with the bad rating. This has nothing to do with that. But in the special episode, it's implied that there's that Banky's character is gonna have a baby. That is implied. And it's interesting to throw Impreg in there at the very, very end. Listen, I'm all for doing like Omegaverse. You know, if you're gonna do it, do it. You know what I mean? Like, lean into it. But throwing it in this, like, as a one-off line in the special episode, it was like whiplash. And at first I thought, like, this has to be a mistranslation. And my friend also, like, messaged me about it, but she watched it with, like, Spanish subtitles. And so we were both like, wait. Did that just imply that? it most certainly implied that. I think it's like the scene is Moss Bank are sitting on this beach, and Moss says something about like their family growing, like, and there's like a close up on the belly or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to go find it, but trust, it was implied, and that gave me a little whiplash. But the writing just was not it for me. I'm excited for their series next year. I'm hoping it'll have a bit of a better plot. So maybe whoever writes that series will know how to write. I'm so sorry to the writers who wrote it, but please, maybe go to a writer's workshop, get some advice. Oh, or better yet, Star Hunter, feel free to hire me. Listen, because I can also help fix what was going on with that GL side ship. The relationship that was most well written was, and I don't remember their characters' names because this was a while ago, was the BL side ship. They were the most well written part of this series. So, okay, next up is We Are, which is something I really liked. So we're going to put it on. So good I would rewatch it. This series is just straight fluff. So if you're going to try We Are, just know the plot is fluff. Okay, it's cozy. And in the book talk community, they would call this a cozy romance because there is very much not a lot of high stakes, but it's great. Ooh, boom. Oh my God, our standouts to me. I already liked them, but this made me like them even more. I just really enjoyed watching this and being invested. There was something in We Are for everyone. If you like enemies to lovers, there's that. If there's childhood friends to lovers, or not childhood, well, okay, let me rephrase. Childhood like friend enemies to lovers. There's mentor and mentee to lovers. There's friends to lovers. There's something there for everybody, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was fun. I loved the vibes. Next up is going to be a controversial. I cannot believe I am admitting to watching this on air. The things I'm doing for all 500 of you. Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. So, next is Playboyy. Now, how does one explain this series? First of all, if you are not above the age of 18, do not watch Playboyy. Okay, thank you. Just wanted to put it out there. Playboyy, it is, if we were to tone down the plot to like the bare minimum, is about a guy who is trying to figure out what happened to his twin brother. And as he's trying to figure out what happened to his twin brother, he finds out his twin brother is like loosely connected to this, sex work organization called Playboyy. So it's kind of a mystery. It's also, and also his twins' friends also all end up somehow being loosely connected to the Playboyy Club. Now, honestly, I think a series talking about that field of work, that industry, would be so interesting and so important, because I feel like it's not something that's talked about a lot. Great. So we put that out there. So how do I feel about Playboyy? So let me first come out and say this. I really like the actors, and I really especially like, I think his name is Detch, and I like Shell. And there will be a Playboyy season 2, so maybe I will feel differently if I watch Playboyy season 2. But the ending is, putting aside the NC scenes, because some of them were directed so, I don't know. Some of them were just, the direction for some of them were just like crazy. Not crazy in like not crazy in a good way and not crazy in a bad way, but just like it felt like the direction was off, or like there was a very rapid tone shift. And you know, I do like dark and I like angst. So you would think this is like kind of cooked up for me. Now, because Shell and I mean, so yeah, that is how I feel about Playboyy. So the writing fell off at the end. And it's so interesting because the person who wrote Playboyy, I've liked a lot of the things that person has written. So I don't know what happened. I think now that there's a season 2, I might feel differently about that ending because the ending was very open. And as you're about to find out in 3 other shows after this one, I do not like open endings. I want my questions to be answered if there isn't going to be a sequel. And so since there's a sequel, I'm still going to say they still needed to wrap some of this up. They needed to wrap some of it up. And some of them need to wrap it up. Sorry. I think I'm pretty funny, aren't I? So I'm going to rank this. Oh my god, am I going to rank it higher than the Trainee? I am. Listen. If it was meh. Okay, because here's the thing. I can't say no, thank you. Because I wanted to like it. Well, I wanted to like everything on this list. Dang it. I can't put it at no, thank you. Because I think with Playboyy, the concept to me, but I liked the concept of the Trainee. I'm not saying no to Playboyy though, because I want my questions to be answered. Does that make sense? So I guess I'm putting it a no thank you. But will I watch season 2? Likely I will. Not just because I simp for Shell, okay? Not just because of that. Not because of that, but because I need answers, okay? I need answers. Now, you know what I thought was really funny? And now I don't know if they actually got sponsored by this underwear brand, but I do think it's funny. They had to be. I do think it's a really smart move that in a series that is about doing it and, you know, that love, both physical and emotional, that they essentially all wore a big branded underwear brand the entire time, or like tank tops by the underwear brand. And I thought that was really smart. Just like how Durex sponsored 4 Minutes. Fun fact. I do think those are 2 smart marketing moves. There you go. The more you know. So, Fourever You Project. This is something that is currently airing. If you are my friend, you know I really am loving this. But I'm kind of debating here. Because again, it's currently airing. And I really like the cast, don't get me wrong. And I like the friendships. I really do like it. And I'm reading the books. I've read the first 2, and I am working on the 3rd and 4th right now. But I'm waiting for the series. I think I'm waiting for the series to kick it up a notch a bit. But, oh my god, they're all so talented. You know what? No, I'm putting it up here. So good I would rewatch it, because I likely will. And if there's a drought between part 1 and part 2. Because apparently this is going to be even longer than Perfect 10 Liners. Maybe we should talk about that next. They're both directed by the same people, by the same person. So Fourever You Project is about a group of university students, 4, I think, first years who, 4 essentially seniors, and I don't mean seniors in the, first year, junior, sophomore, junior, senior, but I mean they are simply older than them, who are their love interests, and they all have a shared backstory. And now I do like that. And I love a shared backstory. I am here for a shared backstory. Okay? So I'm putting it up there. So Perfect 10 Liners also belongs up there. And maybe I'm biased because it's Force Book and Perth and Santa. Maybe that's why I'm biased. So I'm just going to be honest. I'm also reacting to Perfect 10-liners currently. So go check that out. I will be keeping it up even if as it shifts from Force Book to Perth Santa and when it shifts from Perth Santa to Junior and Mark. I will be continuing to react to that. So go check that out now. I loved these books because I was so done waiting for this series. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy the books and read them. So I did. And that got me even more invested. So I really enjoyed these books. Therefore, when I started the series, I had really high expectations and they were fulfilled. I'm really liking it so far. I think they were pretty much perfectly casted, which is kind of insane because the roles are very specific, and there was a recast, but I think the recast was perfect. Once you know more about the character of Gunn, you will agree with me. Anyways, I am loving it so much. Okay, Pitbabe started airing in 2023, but finished in 2024. Unless I'm wrong about that. In that case, I'm just including it. Oh man, so good I could rewatch it. Let's put it up. Put it up here. So, Pitbabe. That might be controversial. Oh. Fine. First of all, if you look at like my rankings, I always link like a Google Doc where of all the things I've read with my rankings, I ranked this really high. I really do like Pitbabe. I did like it. I have lots of thoughts about this because something else about me is I have been reading fan fiction for a long, long time. So I consider myself kind of an Omegaverse expert. So when I heard about this, I heard about it on TikTok at first. Someone was like, they're making an Omegaverse BL live action. And of course, the person who was talking about it didn't really know anything about Thai BL because from what they were talking about it with. But my first reaction when I learned more is, what? This is not the Omegaverse I know. And so as soon as I was able to take I know about the Omegaverse and take it out of my mind, the way I ate this show up, okay, listen, but there were some things in it that like the plot needed fixing or the writing was a little rushed or the pacing was off. But my main beef with this, North and Sonic, what happened there? Excuse me, and I'm sure it'll be fixed in season 2. But I really I wanted North and Sonic to be fixed in Pitbabe season 1. Also, I don't know. I did like this, and I love a cast that is this large. This is also kind of what I liked about Ken Porsche, because let's say, first of all, don't take me wrong with what I'm about to say, but let's say you don't like Babe or Charlie Babe as a ship. There are other people in this cast for you to other characters in this cast for you to latch onto, okay? It gives you options. There's a little bit of something for everybody here, okay? That's what I really like about large ensemble series. There's something for everybody. And Ken Porsche kind of had that, because you can take, you'll notice in the fandom, they'll take like the character of Big and like write fanfics about Big, like with everybody. You know what I mean? Like there are decisions. There's just so much room for fandom shenanigans and like enjoying the series after it's done through fan fiction because of how many options there are for shipping, which gets more people invested in the long run. So I feel like Pitbabe was also sort of a phenomenon, different than Ken Porsche, but like how Ken Porsche was a phenomenon, so was Pitbabe. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed being online during Pitbabe, and I'm excited for Pitbabe season 2. Although I think I am most excited for Gotta Spare You from Death or whatever. Y'all, maybe I just want Michael in top 10. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, so next was The Monster Next Door. Okay, listen. I'm going to be careful what I say, because Big commented on my TikTok once. I loved this series, okay? But why am I putting it good, but I'm waiting for you to be great? I don't know why they included a side chip. Now you're going to be like, Brindley, I saw you online talking about how much you love Cade. Okay, you're right. You're right. Listen, a lot of the Project Alpha boys, I'm like, whenever I see them anywhere, I'm like, this is iconic. Okay? But the writing of the main ship was really strong. But because of this, and I guess because of the pacing, the side ship kind of just felt like underwhelming and underdeveloped. So I'm really sad about that. And also I feel like the main conflict was just like meh. I don't know. I really did like this though. And I liked that they used the MBTI as like a frame of reference for establishing characters and helping viewers understand them. This was a great show. I loved listening to like Ernie on TikTok, who was a producer for the series, talk about it. Yeah, if you haven't heard of it, go check it out. I really liked it. And also Big and Park have another series together, which I'm so happy about. But yeah, I really did like this show. But the reason why it's not in so good I would rewatch it is because of the writing that kind of fumbled the bag with the side chip. Okay. People are gonna love me or hate me for this, I guess. So I'm gonna put Dead Friend Forever, which started in 2023 and ended in 2024, or maybe not. I don't remember what the dates were, but something with 2024 with this. So Dead Friend Forever, what this series suffers from, and you might be like, Brindley, this is a salmon series. Didn't you just say you loved salmon? Yes, I do. I am so proud to say that. This was my issue with this series is the end. I don't like open-ended, and I most certainly do not like it when my questions are not answered. And so I thought it was a little insane. The ending implied a lot. Now, do I think the conversation that is being had about the character who is literally haunting the narrative is a very interesting and important conversation to have about class struggle, poverty, homophobia. Do I think that that's a very important conversation to have? Yes. Do I think there are aspects of Dead Friend Forever that really did good? Yes. Yes, I do. I will admit I enjoyed watching it. But the ending ruined it for me. Now you might be thinking, Brindley's just mad because, okay, I'm going to spoil it. So if you don't want Dead Friend Forever spoilers, I guess stop watching. Thank you for watching, though. Brindley's just mad that White died. No. Although White is the one person who did not deserve to die. White is, and that's what makes White's death so devastating for the narrative. And it also makes, oh my gosh, this is a character's name, T have to face the consequences of his actions through losing White. And I am fine with that because T, let's be real, deserved it. But my issue with the ending is that it sort of implies that, okay, it could be interpreted many ways. It could interpret it as they got out, the people who are still alive at the end. Could be interpreted as they're still high on that whatever it was and they're trapped in this cycle forever. I'm sure people are like, oh, but the open ending, like that's what it's supposed to make you think. Listen, I like to be made think critically. Okay, that's why I'm really liking Spare Me Your Mercy. I am thinking about this issue in a critical way with this question of, are they actually trapped in this, or are they moving on and having to face the consequences of the actions? What really upsets me is because, first of all, at least 1 to 2 of them should survive, so that they have to deal with the ramifications of what happened. Okay. But I think it is a lot better of a message to reckon with is to have those 3 characters at the end actually be alive and not be trapped in the house. Because if you look at what happens to T, he faced his worst nightmare, which was becoming, what that family member of his was. He lost everything because he didn't stand up in time. He's dealing with the direct ramifications of his actions. Well, the 2 other characters who I think, if we were to rank who's the worst, those 2 aren't that bad in the grand scheme of everybody else who's involved in this series. And of course, if they're trapped in the cycle, that means White, might be alive, and so maybe that's fine. Maybe someone will come rescue them, but I don't think someone will come rescue them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. I needed a clear answer. And if the answer had been explicitly they were trapped in the cycle forever, fine. That would have interesting ramifications for what we, the viewer, are supposed to interpret. Or if they really escaped, that would also have ramifications that we, the viewers, are supposed to interpret. The fact that neither was made clear, you could interpret it anyway, I don't like. So that is why it's in the whatever category I put it in. Knock Knock Boys. Meh. I don't want to talk about this too badly because I know, I don't know. This was not what I expected it to be. It was fine. I liked the actors. It just felt like the plot fell flat. So actually, it's going to be a no thank you. Okay, so next is one you might not have heard of. Night Dream. It was a mini series. I don't even remember how many episodes there are. I didn't find out about this until a few weeks ago, but because something about me is I've made it very clear that I'm writing very hard for Jimmy and Ohm, who are a new ship in Wandee. They're going to be in the next Prince together. Someone was like, did you know Ohm Crit has been in a BL before? And I said, tell me the name. So it is about childhood friends coming back together. It was just meh for me. I thought the actors, everybody who's involved, did a great job. I think the script and the mini-series of it all is where it really suffered, if that makes sense. Anyways, so this is my official BLs of 2024 tier list. Of course, and we are including things that started airing in 2023 but wrapped up in 2024. And I don't know, I feel like we've had a good year. We've got our ultimates. So we've got, let me just say it one more time, Century of Love, Jack and Joker, Two Worlds, Peaceful Property Episode 7, Spare Me Your Mercy, The Heart Killers, and maybe, if they play their cards right, ThamePo. Okay? I feel like we've had a great year. This has been a lot of fun to me. And let me know if you've done this tier list. Please let me know what you ranked in your ultimate tiers, or just send me a photo of the tier list. I'd love to see where everything ended up for you. Or if I'm missing something, feel free to let me know and I can add it as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for 500 subscribers. I am so honored that you are choosing to listen to me yap and us to have a conversation together. And so yeah, just let me know what you think. Do you agree with my takes? Have you heard of all of these series? Or is something I said today making you want to watch something you hadn't heard of before or hadn't thought about trying? Let me know down below, and I'll see you in the next one. See y'all later.